Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'm going to show you how I made this card using the Vibrant Vases stamp set. I'm going to be changing my colour scheme. This is Highland Heather and I'm going to be using Balmy Blue. Card pieces that you're going to be needing. The card base is 8 1/4 inches by 5 3/4 inches, scored and folded at 4 1/8 inches, which is 21 by 14.5 centimetres, scored at 10.5 centimetres. And then you need 2 pieces of Whisper White, which measure 3 7/8 inches by 5 1/2 inches, which is 10 by 14 centimetres. And then a piece of the Gingham Gala 6 by 6 designer series paper in Balmy Blue, and this should measure 3 3/4 inches by 5 3/8 inches, which is 9.7 by 13.7 centimetres. And then you need some scraps of Whisper White to do the 2 frames and the flowers. For the video, I've already prepared 2 of these because that has been fussy cut. And I'm going to put one in here, although that one's been stamped. Because I'm making a video, I don't want to run the risk of stamping in there and messing it up and having to redo. So they're already prepared. If you're confident, you know, you're obviously not making a video doing this, so, you know, just go for it straight there. Although if you like the look of the fussy cut bit, go for that. Right, what am I want to do first? Let's do the stamping first, I think. I have got another one of these I've made using a different vase and different flowers and a different colour, which I'll show you towards the end. I don't want to move it at the moment because what I've done on that one is, on the vase, I've gone over that with fine tip glue, so it's going to dry all glossy and shiny. I don't want to mess it up. So the stamp set, let me show you that first. Vibrant Vases. You've got 3 vases here, and you'll see on this one, which is this, I've used it upside down, and the one that I'll show you before I finish the video, I've used that one upside down. I don't think this one looks quite as good as this, but this is the one I'm going to be doing now, and yes, I'm going to be using it upside down. I'm going to be using these flowers again. On the other one I've used those, and I'm going to be using this sentiment which says thanks for understanding, which is that. So yep, that's about that. So let me do the stamping. I'm only going to do 1 vase and 1 flower because you don't really want to see me fussy cut all of that out, so at least I can show you what I do with the stamping. The thing is with these flowers, they've been designed so that when you do the 2-step stamping with them, it leaves lots of bits of white around it. Well, I decided I didn't want to have all that white on mine, so I coloured it, and that's what I want to show you how I did it. So first of all, the vase. Right, the narrow bit, that's the right way up. Okay, so I'm going to be using it that way round. Don't think it really matters, does it? Leaves this way, that way. Right, and now I want the flowers. There we go. So the 2-step stamping, that's for the flower. Let's do the vase first. Right, this is Balmy Blue. You'll notice on this one I've actually done an extra bit of colouring using my marker pen just to fill those bits in. Not sure what I'm going to be doing with this one, because as I say, I haven't practiced with this one yet. Let's just try making sure I get it up the right way. See how far down can I come. Now this should come up mottled. Can you see how it's light, some bits dark, other bits? I'm tempted to colour those leaves in using the blue marker pen, but I won't. And the flowers. Now this one I do find a bit difficult to line up. Just make sure that you can see what I'm doing. Actually, looking at that stamp, I'm not sure it's actually me going over the edge. I think the stamp does. There we go. You see how all that is, you've got all those white bits there. And it's quite a nice look, it's just that I was a bit surprised to see it. And I thought, I wonder what it looks like if I colour it. Right, before I do colour it, I'm going to do the leaves. And I'm going to use Call Me Clover. Let's bring this back down again. I'm not sure Balmy Blue was a particularly good choice with the green, but I did bring my Call Me Clover marker pen over so that I can make these a bit darker if I want. And what I've done with the others, I've just gone around the edges a bit. I didn't go in to make them really solid. There we go, quite happy with that. Now with the blue, what I did was wherever there were white areas, I just used my marker to gently colour them in. I didn't agonise about it at all, because I finished up with the Berry Burst one that's sitting by the side of me here. It gave a really nice bit of shading. I'll bring it up close so you can see it in a moment. You'll also be able to see the leaves, how I've left white areas in that as well. The thing is with all the Stampin' Up products, you're free to use your imagination and your creativity, because they've designed this to have the white bits. Doesn't mean to say you have to keep them there if you want to do something a bit different. There we go, I think that's probably about it. Right. If you have a look at the actual flowers, you can see the bits that I've done with the marker pen, and you can see it's almost a bit like a fabric, I suppose, where the two-step bit's been. So that's how I do my colouring on those. And I think this vase is a bit too much alike. With this one, that's quite a bit different. But I'm going to stick with it. I'm not going to... I mean, when I experiment like this, I have to expect things not to work out quite so perfectly. I could have experimented beforehand to see how the two come out. But you see this real time when I do things. Right, now, when I do my fussy cutting, it finishes up looking like that, where it's got little white bits around the edges. Again, something I don't really like. So I go around the edges with mine with a black marker pen to get that complete look. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I do with this. These are the two that I'm going to be using on my card. I'm not going to be cutting that out. So what I do is, the one with all the white on it, I take my basic black marker pen and I use the brush end, and I make sure that I keep the brush underneath my image, and then I will just go like that on all the edges, and it will cover up all those little bits of white. Now if you come to a bit in a groove there, just bring your pen downwards. And the reason I say to make sure you keep your pen underneath, the brush coming from underneath, is because if your hand slips, it's just going to make a mark on the underneath of your image. Whereas if you're on the top, you're going to have to start again. That one is a bit, I think I should have cut that a bit closer. Never mind. In the corner there, I can't do that easily. I'm going to go in and drag it down. There we go. That's all the white edges gone now, I think. Yep. Okay. So now if I show you both of them again. See, no unpleasant white edges there. Okay. That one I will do later. This vase I'm going to punch out with the vase here. Now, which way? Thin bit down. Well, let me cut my flower off first, because I will use that for something else. Right, now this is something else I wanted to show you as well. It was more to do with the butterfly, but I need to show you on this one. Now I can't get this piece of paper in there to cut that out, so I'm going to use a little bit of cardstock, and I'm just going to, on my screen, I can put a little bit of snail on that, and I'm going to pop that on there. So that's going to be like a handle, and then I can punch this out beautifully. I keep those, get rid of those bits. Right, so that's ready, and that's going to be saved. So we'll do the frames now, and I'm going to use this bit. Right, what you need with the frames is, with the stitched Shape Framelits, you need the largest oval shape, and you need to cut the inside of that out using that one, and then for the base to go underneath you need that one. So that's number 5, that should be number 6, and that's number 4 of the stitched. Now whenever I'm doing these and I'm cutting out, like I'm going to be cutting the centre out of that because I only want the frame. Okay, so So I'm going to cut that centre out, and I keep on saying when I'm making videos, you save that, use it for another project, but I never ever do. But today I am. I've rescued one of the circles that I've cut out at ovals that I've cut out of something. I'm going to be using that, so I won't actually be die cutting with this one. Okay, that's my one there. Alright, but I will show you these two. So I'm going to get my big shot up. And the frame really is the only one that I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to pop that one in, that's number 4, and this is number 5, and they do sit inside each other very nicely. Just make sure they don't touch, and the gap looks about the same. Let me just tilt that up. Good job I did tilt that, isn't it? That's better. Okay, so you would also be doing this one as well, okay? Unless of course you've got one of those ovals that you've saved from a previous project like me. There we go. So save that one for another project. There we go. That will flatten down okay once we put the dimensional bits on it. Again, the card that I'll show you later, I actually used our adhesive strips, foam adhesive strips that we have for shaker cards, but it's too tall. I didn't like that at all. I just thought that would be a lot easier than cutting up dimensionals, but there you go. I tried it, it didn't work. So first of all, I'm going to start putting my card together. So for the inside, because I'm going to adhere this one in there. Oh no, not that one, is it? It's that one. You can see where I've gone over the back there with the marker pen. And tweezers. Did we make sure we had those? Yes, we did. Don't you just love this balmy blue? I think it's an absolutely gorgeous colour. When I first saw it, I was rather disappointed that we were losing our soft sky. Yeah, but I got over that. It's actually Christmas Eve while I'm making this video, and I'll be publishing it on Boxing Day. So if you are watching it on Boxing Day, I hope you've had a really, really super Christmas. There you go. And now for the front, before I do anything, I'm going to try the sentiment, which is that, and I'm going to use Stays On. Again, something else for you to look out for when I show you the other card. When I did this on it, I messed up. So I did it on some Whisper White and then die cut it and stuck it over the top. So let's see if I can do this again. I think that's about 1/2 inch, isn't it, that? So what's about 1/2 inch onto that blue one there. Right, let's get you centred on grid paper. Yeah, that's about right. Just make sure it's straight. Right, okay. Fingers crossed. Not brilliant, but I'm going to leave it. It could be meant to be like that, couldn't it? It's like that one there. It's got the whole the gaps in it, so the white bits. If I decide that I really don't like it, once my card is put together, then I can always do the stamping onto Whisper White and putting it over the top. But I doubt if I will do. Do it the other way around. That's it. Right, I want to turn this upside down. Make sure I turn the card upside down as well. On the day that I publish this, which will actually be Boxing Day, it will be on my blog, so you'll be able to see what I've decided to do about that. So what I'm going to do with this now is I need to get this adhered onto here. So first of all, I'm going to glue this one down. The vase and everything I do last. And just see if I can get... Don't think that's very centred, is it? I'm definitely going to do my flower vase over the top. Now, as I say, I have tried doing this using the foam strips, but it didn't work very well. My next choice is on these mini dimensionals, there's a very thick strip down there, so I like to cut that off and use that one. And I like to use the strips because I can make it complete all the way around without leaving any kind of gaps. And also, if you take the top and bottom covers off of the strip, they are really flexible and so easy to get on here and to work around the corner. pushed that down a bit too quickly. See if I can get it up again. Yep. That's it. And then you can either take one again from that side or take it off the other. I prefer to take it off the other because by the time you take the second strip off, you're left with some really funny small bits. Whereas as they are at the moment, at least you can cut them that way. And it looks as if 2 pieces is going to be enough for this. That's one piece off. The other one off. Right, the size of the oval that's sitting or stuck on the card now is, oh my goodness, look at that. That has worked out virtually spot on the right length. I'm going to have to cut off like 1/8 of an inch or something. Look. I have to say it's a bit difficult working with this with both the back ends taken off. Oh, there we go. Right. Right, what I was going to say is the size of that oval is smaller than this, but it's bigger than the inside, which means you won't be able to see that oval once you've put this down because it'll be covered up by the dimensional. As you're putting it down, don't squeeze it down until you're happy that you are straight. And do have a peep sideways. Okay, so what have I got? Oh, that's it. So there we go, there's my framework. So I need the vase, which is the right way up. I've forgotten. The fat bit is down there. Right, that's upside down now. It's not very good, is it, having that as blue? I'm going to paint those leaves, make it a bit darker. I'm sure that'll make it look a lot better. What was I saying earlier about having options? I was actually thinking about doing the leaves in green. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Oh, that looks a lot better. Much, much better. Right, so let's get some dimensionals on here. I'll have one big one at the top. One big one at the bottom. Yep, that'll do nicely. And this one, now this one, I'm going to put this over the top of the vase, so I'm not going to let my dimensionals come too close to the bottom there. I'll use 3, but leave that bit so that it will just go overlapping. There we go. And where do I want it to go? Do I want to cut that white bit off? No, I don't think so. Right. We're going to do this one first. So just see how much gap I'm leaving there. About level with that blue line. Right, can you remember that? We'll soon find out. That's about that. Just make sure it's straight. I think so. There we go. I think that looks good. I'm going to put pearls on this one. I used diamantes on the first one. Just 3. Now I've got a little butterfly here. Now he came from this sheet, which is one of the sheets in the Botanical Butterflies Design Series paper, which will be available as one of the gifts during celebration. And there is a punch that will match this. We've got the two butterflies. Okay. Now quite often you can't use your punch to actually cut straight out from here. So this is what I was going to show you earlier, except I had to show you a second time because I'd messed up on something. And that is, what I do is I cut them off like that, and then I use the little handle idea. It helps to open it up. And just line that up. The coordinating stamp set for this is in a new spring catalogue, and it's called Butterfly Gala. And in that stamp set there are 2 antennae, 2 stamps that have got the antennae, one for the big butterfly and one for the smaller butterfly. Right, what am I looking for? This. So if, when you see the spring catalogue, if you ordered the Butterfly Gala stamp set, the punch and the gingham paper, which is all part of the same suite, and add on some dimensionals or something, you can get the Botanical Butterfly Designer Series paper as a gift, your free gift. So there we go. I think I've remembered everything now, haven't I? That one. Right, the other side of all this gingham is a large check. This is the other one that I've made. Okay, so I've put you can see it's all dried up now. Gone all shiny. Yep, that's it. Now that one I don't think looks very good upside down. Do you? But at least you can see all 3 of the vases upside down, and you can make your own decision. And that's the one where I made a mistake underneath with my stamping, so I had to cover it up. And what was the other thing I said about this one? I thought it was something else. But there you go. There's 3 of the colours. If you'd like to see what the other 2 colours are, if you haven't seen them already. That's Daffodil Light and also Lemon Lime Twist in here somewhere. There we go. But as I say, they're all small and large. All the colours. Well, you've seen the blue one and the yellow one. What a wonderful selection of colours. Really spring-like colours. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And if you have any comments to make or have any questions, please leave them in the box below the video. You'll also find in the box below the video all the measurements and the products that I've used. The Spring Summer Catalogue and the celebration starts on the 3rd of January. So do watch out for that. That's where we have 3 months of, for every £45 or €60 you spend, you can choose a gift from the celebration catalogue. Best time to get a bargain, and also a brilliant time to join Stampin' Up, whether you want to join as a hobbyist just so that you get the discount on your products that you buy, or if you want to be a business builder like myself. They've got 2 fantastic joining offers. If you'd like to know more about that, please email me at janb@janbcards.com. If you've enjoyed my video and would like to be notified each time I upload a new one, please click on the subscribe button, and there should be a subscribe button in the bottom, which way you're looking at it, bottom right hand corner, over that way, yep. So please click on that. And finally, if you'd like to purchase any of the products featured here today,